Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. Secretary Mullin, you have been now in office for 71 days. And you've been in this new role in 71 days of your watch. And I'll be honest with you, my office is getting more of the same. As you can see in the posters, I'm not going to go into details here because I want to really focus on questions with you. So my questions are going to be yes or no because I want to be able to go through a list of them. First one, Secretary. As a former member of the House and Senate, are you clear that members of Congress have statutory oversight authority over federally funded detention facilities? Yes or no?
I do, with proper notice.
Yes.
When we're in a
Yes.
shutdown, it takes a little bit more time.
I'm sorry.
And all of us shut down
I'm reclaiming
right
my time. I want to go to the second question here. Yes or no? Given that Senator Andy Kim was acting within his statutory oversight authority at Delaney Hall, would you retract your comments that a senator probably shouldn't have been there? Yes or no? Would you retract them?
Andy Kim and I have visited multiple
Yes
times.
or
There is
no?
no yes or no on
Secretary?
that. If you don't, I can sit
I'd
right
like
here
to
and not
reclaim
answer
my
any of your
time.
questions if it's going to be
Chairman,
yes or
I'm
no,
reclaiming my
because
time
there's a
again.
backstory
Thank you.
behind that Andy
Reclaiming
Kim
my
and I
time.
talked multiple times, and we let him into
Chairman?
the center that day.
Thank you.
These
I wanna
yes
go
or
on
no
to the
questions,
next one.
Chairman.
Chairman?
You can't.
Chairman,
These aren't yes.
I am the member.
Suspend.
I'm glad.
I agree.
Somebody
We need to
elected
stop-
you.
We need to stop. We need to stop the
Okay,
clock.
I said suspend. I said suspend. Okay. Again, the members are entitled to ask questions. The witness is entitled to answer them. He is here voluntarily. The members are entitled to ask their question. They cannot limit his answer. If they say yes or no, and it's not a yes or no question, they want to
Chairman, if he's
reclaim their
unwilling to
time.
answer, we're reclaiming and we're moving on,
Yeah, if you,
correct?
that's
the
fine.
rule?
You can reclaim your time. That's fine. But do not, you get to ask the question. The witness gets to answer it. He does, you do not get
Chairman,
to tell
can I
him
reclaim
how
it?
to
Does he
answer.
stop speaking?
It's still suspended. Okay, but this is for everyone, this is for everyone, not just you. Again, we can add, because you did add, I think 10 more seconds back onto the clock.
It's more like 20.
10 more seconds back onto the clock.
So we're going back to another question.
Let's get it,
Let me
let's
know when we're
get
ready.
everything set, and then I will let everything start again. 346, please.
So, Secretary, are you familiar with the ICE National Detention Standard, Standard 4, food service, that establishes that food in ICE detention must be nutritious and hygienic? Are you familiar with the standard? That's a pretty easy yes or no.
Yes,
Are you familiar
I am.
with the standard? Thank you. So given ICE's standards and reports of decaying food confirmed by congressional oversight, would you retract your comments dismissing detainees' concerns about rotten food as a desire for ethnic food? Would you retract those comments?
I didn't say rotten food. I said they wanted ethnic correct food, and I said this isn't a Holiday Inn. We're not providing that. But
So
we
you're
did
not
release the
retracting-
menu, and if you saw time, if you look time to look at the
So
menu,
you're not
you can see it's
retracting
pretty
your
good
comments?
food.
Okay. So let me just make sure I clarify. These questions were important because I know it shows this. You've been in Congress before. You've been in the House and Senate. You understand the separation of powers. You know Congress's role. You understand that there are rules and standards that you're required to follow. You've been saying this in the last 45 minutes we've been here. And still, you're disregarding what we know, which is that you're doing the same thing that your president and Miller want you to do, which is spew this garbage that makes immigrants criminals and that creates the standards and conditions for even children in detention to be living in inhumane conditions. You know what I call that? I call that being a tool. And let me tell you the impact of these actions. Kevin Gonzalez, my 18-year-old U.S. citizen constituent with stage 4 colon cancer. He wanted to see his parents one last time, Secretary. But you rejected his parents' visa to come say goodbye to their son. In desperation, they came the only way that they knew how. They tried to cross the border. And when they tried to cross the border, they were detained by CBP in Arizona. They weren't just released so they can go back to Mexico. They sat in that detention center for 1 whole month. My office, the Mexican consulate, and their legal team, they worked tirelessly to ensure that the Gonzalez family could be reunited because they knew that Kevin just had weeks to go, that he could die at any time. He was diagnosed in January. Kevin, I want to show you the video. This is when he finally got to see his mother and father. Kevin went to Mexico. You hear that cry from that mother. What you're not seeing is the father is wrapped around his son's feet, crying hysterically after a month in detention. Secretary, Kevin died less than 24 hours after that engagement. So I want to ask, for every parent in this room, including Secretary Mullin, and including my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, wouldn't you go at any length to be able to see your dying child one last time? You know, rejecting visas to Kevin's family, that didn't protect our communities. Family separation, that doesn't make any community safer. So who then ends up benefiting from this? I'm going to tell you who benefits. For-profit prison corporations. They profit from cruelty and point. And you now are operating as a secretary, inflicting cruelty and pain. And I have to say this, for Kevin, for Virginia, his grandmother, who's my constituent, we will not forget the terror of ICE. And we will not forget what DHS continues to do, even under your watch. We know that a better world is possible. We need something new, and that means, I will say it loudly so that you could go ahead and quote it if you need to. We need to abolish ICE, and we need to dismantle DHS. And like I told your predecessor, Secretary, I wouldn't get comfortable, because you have to be held accountable. With that, I yield back.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.